Welcome back to a brand new episode of Saturday Sitdown. This is a series that every Saturday you guys pitch me a topic in the comments of my Saturday Sitdown videos. I select one and we discuss it. Now this week, a big thank you to Javon Swanigan, who's the one that suggested I talk about the NBA Finals. So we're going to dissect who's going to win between the Cavaliers or the Warriors. And before I even start talking, I want you guys to leave me a topic for next week's Saturday Sitdown in the comments. And also let me know who you think is going to win the NBA Finals and how many games you think it'll take. And when we're looking at the Cavaliers and the Warriors, it's probably one of my favorite NBA Finals matchups in a long time. Last year we saw the Spurs kind of walk right through the Miami Heat in a 4-1 series. And what's interesting is that pretty much 11 out of the last 20 NBA Finals have won at least 5 games. The Warriors are kind of a team that, they're up and coming, they're built around shooters, they're kind of the new wave of the NBA, what teams are ultimately trying to strive for. The Cavaliers are what we've seen in previous years where you have, a superstar surrounded by pretty good talent. And LeBron James is that guy. I think that team has so much finals experience, it's going to be tough to be able to close Cleveland out. Now, when I'm looking at the different matchups, the first game starts on June 4th. I really think the Cavs can actually go into Oracle Arena, which is where the game will take place for the first two. I think they can steal at least one of those games, and if they do, it's going to be incredibly interesting. LeBron James has the benefit of being in the finals for so many years. He has so much playoff experience, and I know that the Warriors are a great team, but if you watch that Rockets game the other night, the Rockets did a really good job of limiting their perimeter shots. Steph Curry couldn't really get a rhythm, and maybe that's because his elbow or his shoulder was kind of hurting and why he had that arm sleeve and ultimately took it off. But I think it's going to be tough for the Warriors to get shots off against the Cavaliers. They have a decent amount of length. If Kyrie Irving is healthy, which is really going to be a big thing, it's going to be tough for Steph Curry to get what he wants because he's going to have to exert some effort on defense. Even if they put somebody like Klay Thompson on Kyrie Irving, that's going to be a mismatch because Kyrie Irving is so quick he's going to be able to get Klay Thompson off his rocker and be able to hit shots when he needs to. Looking at the matchups, there's a lot of good potential. LeBron James versus Andre Iguodala, I think, will be a matchup for the ages. I love Iguodala. To me, I think he'll be the unsung hero of this NBA Finals. If you look at Iguodala and what he's pretty much been for the Warriors, to me, he's kind of like Scottie Pippen. He's the guy that does everything. He's playing great defense. He's rebounding. He's scoring when he needs to. He's the guy that's going to stretch the floor and create a lot of mismatches. And his defense against LeBron James, and that's who I assume they'll put on him, is going to be interesting. Harrison Barnes will probably get some time on LeBron as well, and I think if you watch him against the Rockets last night, he ended up getting about 20 or so points, and he ended up being the catalyst. When Steph Curry and Draymond Green were having an abysmal shooting night, Harrison Barnes is really the guy that killed them. And that's what I love about the Warriors. So the Warriors have so much firepower on their roster. Their bench is pretty deep. You got a guy like Sean Livingston, who's a vet, who's been in the league for a really long time now. He's about 6'6", 6'7", and that's huge for a point guard. So when Dellavedova comes in and he has to match up against Livingston, they're literally going to run post-up plays nonstop and have Livingston down on the block. And that's going to be incredible. I'm really anxious to see how Steve Kerr and David Blatt play their different matchups. There really aren't going to be any hack-a-Shaq or hack-a-Jordan moments because Mozgov can actually shoot free throws from about a 70% clip. So I really don't think we'll see too many of those. Azili can't really shoot free throws, so it's possible Blatt will use that, but for our sake, I really hope there are no hack-a-center moments because everybody hates how boring it gets. We don't want to see a center shoot 20-plus free throws in a game. We want to see guys like Kyrie Irving, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, LeBron, Barnes, Iguodala. We want to see all those guys go off. Now, you do have some role players on the Cavs. You have James Jones, who really hasn't shot all that great. Dellavedova, who has been incredible. I loved him at, I believe it was St. Mary's in college. He was a really clutch player. He was kind of an older player. I think he'll have a surprisingly good NBA Finals. A lot of people are giving him a bad rap for playing dirty. In my opinion, that guy's just hustling. When you're a role player in the NBA and there's a loose ball, you're diving for it. If he's not diving for it, then the next season the Cavs are going to get somebody who will, and Dellavedova's time in the NBA really won't be that long. So I like him a lot. A lot of people are giving him flack. Do you think he's a dirty player? I mean, you can leave me a comment below and let me know. I don't really think he's a dirty player. But ultimately, when it gets down to it, this is going to be a historic matchup. I think Steph Curry will probably struggle in at least one game, but I think for the most part he'll have an incredible series. I think LeBron is going to run out of gas at some point, and so I'm interested to see how he balances his time and his effort. Both teams do benefit by not being able to play until June 4th. They get plenty of time off. I think the Cavs will steal Game 1 against the Warriors in Oracle Arena. I think the Warriors might win 2 straight after that. I think the Cavs are probably going to be able to steal another one at Oracle. When it comes down to it, I'm saying this is either a 6-game or a 7-game series. It's hard for me to admit this, but I'm going to give the nod to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Ultimately, I think the Warriors are an incredible team, and I think they still have a really good chance of pulling this off. But the big thing for me is that the Cavs have a rim protector in Mozgov. Tristan Thompson has been rebounding at an incredible clip. That guy gets pretty much every offensive rebound, at least gets his hands on it, and that's going to be some clutch situations. So I'm picking the Cavs in 6, possibly 7. Who do you guys think is going to win? If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, and if you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe for more Saturday Sit Downs.